All right, now there are two very interesting situations that we all need to be very, very aware of. In fact, if you will just memorize these next two forms and just absolutely be able to just, spit them out anytime, then it's going to make things so much easier for you, I promise. That the first of the weird situations is all vertical lines come in the form of x equals some number. Okay, let's see why that is. Here I have an example that says graph x equals 3. Okay, I'm going to graph this equation, then let's make an x and a y chart like we did before. Now when we did this, we said, well, we choose some x values and we find the y that goes with it. Well, but our equation though says x equals 3. So x equals 3 doesn't say anything about the y. There is no y in here. Y can be anything you want it to be. Y could be 1, but x has to be 3. X has to be 3, but y could be 0. X has to be 3, but y could be -4. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is x is 3. So x is 3. Let's plot each of these 3 points and see what they look like. The point 3, 1 would be right there. The point 3, 0 would be right here. And the point 3, -4 would be right here. Now look at what kind of a line those form. If I were to play connect the dots, I have a vertical line. It runs through the x-axis at 3. X equals 3. That's the way I help to remember these. Now notice also in here that the x-intercept is the point 3, 0. And for a y-intercept, actually we don't have one, do we? Because this thing is never ever going to cross the y-axis. So there is no y-intercept. Okay, let's look at the opposite of that. The second odd thing that happens is horizontal lines. All horizontal lines come in the form of y equals some number. So again, let's look at an example so you can see what I'm talking about. This says y equals -2. Well, let's do our x and our y chart. In this equation, though, there is nothing about x at all. It just says y must be -2. Y must be -2 no matter what. So I'm going to write it in here 3 times. It didn't say anything about x. X could be 1, x could be 5, x could be -3, but y has to be -2. Let's plot these. So 1, -2 would be here. 5, -2 would be there. And -3, -2 would be right there. So do you see that those form a horizontal straight line? It's crossing through the y-axis at -2. Y equals -2. Now, also, let's talk about intercepts. This thing is never ever going to cross the x-axis because it's a horizontal line. So there are no x-intercepts here. The y-intercept would be this point right here, the point 0, -2. So if you're asked about intercepts, you could read them off basically. But it is crucial that you understand that x equals is a vertical line, y equals is a horizontal line. Just a number. Y equals just a plain number.